Hey there, greetings everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Plan B Success. We have an entrepreneur amongst us today who's been there, done that, more on technology and services that he provides. So, why don't I introduce him and let's find out from him what he does. So, welcome, Jeff.
Hey, Rajiv, thank you so much. Hey, listen, I've been a fan of your podcast ever since I stumbled across it and digested quite a few of them before we connected. So I am honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So, why don't we begin with you telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I would submit to your audience that don't fall asleep. I'll be brief, right? But I've been in the technology and financial services space for 31 years, right? That's on the corporate side. Also written 5 books. 4 of them are bestsellers on Amazon. And one of them, fingers crossed, will join the other 4 soon. Hopefully, I check the sales stats weekly to see if it's there. So that's the business and professional side. The personal side is married to the same wonderful woman for going on 28 years. 4 children. We live in beautiful Tucson, Arizona.
Awesome. So I see that you dabbled in comedy for some time. You were in Army for a bit of time before you got into the business that you're in. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I had always been a fan of theater and drama, comedy. And gave it a shot after I left the United States Army. I was only in the Army for 3 years, right out of high school, right? Where I'm from in Western Kentucky, it's kind of military or preachers or work at a factory or on a farm. And college wasn't really in my radar. So I went straight to the Army, got out of the Army and had always been involved in theater and play and drama and tried my hand at that. Clearly, I was not successful. I tried for about 18 months and quite honestly, I got tired of being broke and hungry. And so I stumbled, fell in, just by chance, perhaps, answered an ad that said the cliche of cliche things, insurance salesman wanted. And that's how I got into the financial services space. I try to avoid the word insurance because people yawn and they go to sleep. But what we've done in 30 years is, in infusing together technology and chatbots and artificial intelligence in this space is find a way to actually help people beat the insurance companies. That's actually the title of one of my bestsellers, How to Beat Your Insurance Companies, and really return money back to their checkbook. So that's really what my corporate and professional life is about now is we teach consumers through our technology offerings in our books how to beat the insurance company and save money.
Awesome. So your company, Rightsure, when did you form it and how long have you been running it?
Appreciate that question. Thank you. So Rightsure was founded in 2007. I had sold my initial firm to a bank and then took a hiatus and ran some insurance companies and then started this brokerage, Rightsure, in 2007. So we're coming up on 15 years in August of this year. So just right at 15 years.
That's pretty awesome. So what all does Rightsure do and provide?
Yeah, so we like to say, of course, we wrap technology around everything, right? And by the way, everyone wants that coveted fintech or insurtech brand and logo, associated with their name. But and we're not really after that. We're after what we do, which is we fuse technology together with legal contracts. Insurance is what we sell, but it's all lifted up and presented to the public by what Rightsure's come to be known as. And that's our famously friendly humans, right? So Rightsure is known for famously friendly humans, people that are exceptionally awesome, who leverage technology and help consumers in 42 states save money. But it's not really so much about saving money. Oh, that's important to the consumers. It's about getting the right thing and stop having to shop every 6 months or every year when your rate increases. Our technology does that. It hugs the policyholder tighter than they've ever been hugged. We infuse predictive analytics in there. So if we see you have a young driver coming on, we may reach out and get to them some safety courses. If it looks like you're driving far less, we may say you want to do telematics, that app where you pay by mile, so you pay much less. If you've got a big birthday coming up, we might recommend life insurance or some estate planning. So the way our famously friendly humans weave technology around mean life events is kind of revolutionary, kind of neat. So I could take an hour talking about it, but I don't want to bore your listeners either.
No, what you just said is so refreshing. I've personally been in the health insurance space for a while, but I see that you cater to all kinds of insurances. Most of the time, people are left to themselves to educate themselves, figure it out, and come back and buy insurance. That's how things have been, right? You figure out that you need home insurance or a car insurance or life insurance. 9 out of 10 people don't understand life insurance as well. But what you just said in terms of predictive analytics, or in terms of being the one that's holding their hand and telling them what they need and do not need, and help them make those choices, I think that's much more important than selling insurance. The sale will eventually happen when you start doing those kinds of things, don't you think?
Absolutely agree, and thank you for echoing those comments. That's why we don't refer to our staff or as agents. They're famously friendly humans, right? It's completely consultative. There's no sales quota. It's about helping the consumer get the right thing. And additionally, consumers in this age of shopping for yourself, right, really are led down this path of what's the cheapest? I want the cheapest. All the commercials, everything surround that. And what we submit to our policyholders is, you get what you pay for. And if you go outside of the boring, unsexy insurance industry, which I disagree with because I think it's sexy, exciting, and awesome. But if you go outside of our industry and apply the mindset that is applied to our industry, you would recognize right away that it's a fallacy and an incorrect assumption. What I mean by that is, if you're going to buy a Hyundai versus a Tesla, you understand that there's a difference in value that you're going to pay for, right? And the same if you take your partner or spouse out to a fast food restaurant versus a really nice high-end steak restaurant. You understand that there's a difference, and you're going to get a difference in experience and value based upon how you pay. For some strange, God unknown reason, in our industry, it is believed, it is perceived, it is understood incorrectly that all the policies are the same and the only differentiator is price. And that's the problem with consumer shopping, is because they're driven to just the lowest dollar, not understanding that our entire industry is about legal contracts. We sell legal contracts. And the lower you drive that premium, you're surrendering something. There's just no way, hundreds of insurance companies can offer the same type of coverage and one be, 120% less. It's just impossible. And so it helps to consumers to understand rate is important. We get it. You want to pay the least amount, but understand what coverage you're surrendering. And that's the consultative approach we offer. It's, we represent hundreds of insurance companies in 42 states. And if a policyholder just wants the cheapest, we have that. Well, let's educate them, transfer knowledge to them so that they understand what they don't have coverage for. Because the only bad thing you hear about our industry is when a claim isn't paid, but we can't pay what you didn't buy. So again, another long-winded answer. I apologize. I'm super passionate about this.
I hear you. So, for the common man, insurance is something that you need to have. You must have, but you don't want to use, right? That's what it is. And I think that's where a lot of this, why not just hold on to something that's low dollar comes in, right? And it goes back to the education angle. How many people are educated in, what are they being covered for? And sometimes they don't realize it until they have a claim. The same case with whether it's insurance, whatever kind of insurance, you only realize the value of it when there's a claim. and then you want to buy it, but you never want to have a claim. So that's what it's about. And education definitely helps. Being consultative definitely helps. And some of the things that you touched on in terms of them reaching out, your people reaching out and saying, "Hey, you've got a young driver coming up. What are the ways to get that premium down? What are the ways to cover? What are the ways to make the person a safer driver?" Those things are pretty important. Same thing with life insurance. Life insurance, not a lot of people understand the difference between term and universal, for instance. People know that as they age, if they pick on something, if they pick on any of these insurances, they'll start to get more expensive. That's all they know about. And then how many parents are educating their kids about what to expect as they step into the world?
It's true. I would submit to every listener that I have 4 children, so I blame myself. I have not fully prepared them from a financial literacy standpoint. They're going to have to learn by trial and error, unfortunately, like I did. And so, part of what we're doing on just our vertical, the insurance space, is trying to transfer knowledge to these young youthful drivers or these young drivers. Now, again, you understand, we were teenagers. We know everything, or Google solves everything for them, right? But there's still some stuff that we owe to them, to teach them, to transfer that information to them. And so, we try to get them in not just insurance courses, but financial literacy courses to give them a leg up, because it's not taught in our schools, and it goes well beyond our, there's no fiscal motive for us. It's really about how to make the world a better place. And the more knowledge people have, the better decisions they can make.
Absolutely. So, what's the best way to find out about your company and its offerings? You mentioned 42 plus states. So how do people find you, and how do they engage with you?
Yeah, I appreciate that opportunity. So I'll give you 2 websites, right? So our first one is our company one. It's Rightsure, and I'll spell it. It's RIGHTSURE.com, Rightsure.com, and then you can quote yourself on there, or get in touch with any of our famously friendly humans. And then I always have to plug my books. My books are on Amazon, but you can get there at jeffarnold.com. That's JEFFARNOLD.com. And welcome any comments, dialogue, conversation. This is what I was put on this earth to do. So look forward to hearing from your listeners.
Awesome. So tell us about your books, Jeff. You mentioned 5 of them, right?
Yeah, I love to open that. So real quick, I'll run through them. The first one is The Art of the Insurance Deal. And that's because in my earlier career, I was fortunate to buy 42 insurance firms and some insurance companies. I was part of a big bank and had a large balance sheet, and some exceptionally smart people there, and the CFO and the operational piece that allowed me to do what I do. And so cataloged that, memorialized that all in a book, talking about those deals we did, how we raised the capital, mostly the failures we made, because it's more failures than successes, just like any entrepreneur, right? And so not just trying to stand on a box and yell how great we are. We try to show, how fallible and failure prone we are, like anyone else. So you kind of really feel what we've been through. The second one was How to Beat Your Insurance Company, because I was sitting at our summer place calculating how much I've paid in insurance over the years, and it's an insane amount. It's 6 figures. I talk about it in the book. And so thought, how do we teach people how to get some of these premiums back through the life insurance you mentioned? From 20 to 70 or 30 to 70, you can pay into it and get it all back if you buy the right life insurance. But if something happens, it goes to your estate, tax-free. Lots of super simple but sophisticated financial planning stuff. And then the others, real quick, are just on using technology in the insurance space, and then some bold yet coming true predictions that I made for 2025 and beyond in our industry. And then the last one, which is not a bestseller yet, it's called Moments with Mooka. And Mooka is just a straw creature that we made over the years that kind of walks the hallowed halls of Rightsure to challenge our famously friendly humans to do the right thing, to go above and beyond, and leave an exceptional client experience on every call and every interaction. So that's the 5 books there.
Awesome. And what time period did you write these in?
I think starting from 2013, I started actually seriously thinking about putting pen to paper, and then I just went through all my old to-do list. And so about 8 or 9 years ago, and it took several years to get published, right? I felt like I was in high school asking a date for the prom. I just got rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection, right? And so finally I landed on a publisher who said, quite candidly, no money up front. We'll publish it. We'll see how it does. And that's fine. It worked out great. It taught me about it. And so the first one was done that way, and the rest have been self-published because I'm kind of a hands-on, take control kind of person.
Awesome. So here's a thought for you. I think you should definitely write a book on, the financial steps, or the not so much as just insurance, but the financial prowess that any teen should be educated in as they step into adulthood in life. Something to think about.
I love that challenge. And in fact, I cannot reveal the name yet because we're under an NDA. We haven't finalized agreement. But that's the same passion, right? With no remuneration, no economic benefit for Rightsure. It is a person that's creating a master class, and we want to adopt that and offer it to our policyholders. There might be a small fee to them, but none of it's passed on to us, but is literally from a philanthropic way. How can we teach the next generation how to be more sophisticated financially? I mean, it's easy to get sideways, and I made a lot of stupid mistakes, right? And I've tried to give some counsel to our young people, but it's better if we have a class with an agenda to go through. So I appreciate that challenge. We're actually working on that clandestinely in the background.
Awesome. And here's another one, right? Even the adults, for that matter. You have your flexible spending accounts, you have your HSAs and such, and then 401ks for that matter. And people tend to switch jobs, right, over a long career. And I personally feel a lot of people don't understand their HSAs so well, and they might have contributed money and it's sitting in a pot somewhere that they have no idea. They just walked away from it when they moved between jobs. And the same happens with 401k. How many people really educate themselves about these and keep track of those as they move along in life?
That's very valid. I mean, that stuff is portable, right? It's yours to take with you, but how many people don't, or maybe they leave their employer under not good circumstances and don't want to reach back out. But I don't know what the amount is. It's probably millions, if not billions, that is sitting there unaccessed, unused, untapped. It's a very valid point, kind of like find your missing money or get your lost money back kind of thing. So it's a great challenge.
Yeah, it is. Awesome. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us today. You just opened up so many thoughts in terms of how can someone be proactive within the insurance space. Education, consultation is much more important than trying to make a sale, because if you educate and consult, the sale will naturally happen. And I think that's what you're doing, Rightsure, with your technologies, and ever so grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, I'm honored and grateful to be on your show. Appreciate having the time to sit and talk with you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jeff.